After the kidnapping of the king, chaos and turmoil ruled the land, and our province was no exception. We were overrun by bandits and marauders, and the roads were no longer safe. The most terrible massacre happened at the stud farm in Neuhof, which was raided and torched. And all the horses slaughtered. My liege lord sent his men, led by Sir Robert of Talmberg, to track down the killers and to bring them to justice. I rode with them, but the investigation has been slow and difficult. Whenever I came across some trace of the bandits, someone erased it in the cruelest way imaginable. In the end, though, I got one step ahead of the enemy. I found out one of the bandits was still alive and hiding near Talmberg. But before I set out to track him down, I had to report to Sir Robert.
Faster! In a real fight, you'd be dead already.
Sir.
Ah, Henry. Carry on. Well, lad, have you made any progress with the investigation?
Yes, sir. I think I have at last.
So you found someone who isn't gutted and nailed to a wall?
It wasn't easy, sir, but I believe I have. I have information about one of the bandits who did it. He's even hiding in a village nearby.
God's blood. It's true the darkest shade is beneath the candlestick. Who is he?
I only know that they call him Riki, and he's from here in Talmberg.
That's it?
You wouldn't believe how much effort it took me to find that out. But I think it's enough to go on.
But what if he's dead too?
I think we'd already know if he was. These fellows are not given to subtlety.
True enough. We haven't found any more mutilated corpses. Well, get on with it then. And when you find him, come and see me. Most likely I'll be in the encampment by Merhoed.
You can rely on me, sir. Farewell.
And be careful, Henry. I know what that rabble did to you. But remember with whom you're dealing. Don't start any foolhardiness on your own. Understood?
I'll try not to, sir. I'm looking for some fellow they call Riki.
That's the tanner's son, Hinnick.
Where can I find him?
Hard to say. He's not around here much. Thank Christ. You could try his folks' place.
What can you tell me about this Hinnick?
I wouldn't say I know him. Decent people have nothing to do with him.
How come?
He stinks, he's filthy, and he goes around with peculiar people. In short, not someone you'd want to know.
What's the tanner like? Hinnick's father?
He's a slimy old toad, unpleasant to folk, and weird.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's got a big nose? He reeks, that's why, Jesus.
Why don't people like him?
I'm not one to gossip. All I can tell you is he doesn't make a good impression on folk.
And does nobody at all talk to him?
I hear he sees Adela.
So Adela is his sweetheart.
Sweetheart? I wouldn't put it that way. She's anybody's sweetheart if they've got the money for it.
Where does the tanner live? Where's the bathhouse? Can you tell me something about Tarnberg? What's it like here?
Are you serious?
You know this Hinnick. Can you tell me something about him?
He's a bastard.
Oh yeah? In what way?
He's a scoundrel who keeps company with all sorts and gets up to devilry. Folk don't talk to him much.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
The apple never falls far from the tree. Hinnick's a scoundrel and his father's a grouchy old bastard.
Why do they call Hinnick Riki anyway?
Have you ever been in a tanning shop? If not, go there and you'll see for yourself. On the other hand, it might have something to do with his reputation too.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Most of the neighbours stay well clear of him, because he goes around with the wrong people. A dubious pack they are. I wouldn't wonder if they were thieves or even murderers.
Don't tell me no one at all talks to him.
There's one bathhouse wench talks to him. A filthy harlot, of course. Who else?
And what's this harlot's name?
Adela, I think.
Tell me something about Tarnberg. Tell me something about Tarnberg. I heard you've been seeing Hinnock the tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinnock, so I came to ask you about him.
I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept on prattling and wasn't interested in, well, you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Hard to say. He went on about some Jacob who died. Then he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
Where can I find Hinnock?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnock's and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms? No. More like hares or other game.
So Hinnock is a poacher. That doesn't surprise me much.
Well, he was never one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favorite spot he might have told you about.
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me exactly where.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of money hidden at home behind the house.
Uh-huh. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Just poppycock.
Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his dad's small holding in the western corner.
All right. Thanks. Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money?
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, and it's only because his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
So you only felt sorry for him?
Both of us are sort of black sheep in the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing more. Maybe Hinnock thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see. How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught. And the truth is, he didn't come to me at other times. I reckon because he didn't have money for it.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper? It makes sense, doesn't it?
For sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction, anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the lumberjack's camp, because he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
So at least I know where to start. When did you see him last?
A few days ago.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink.
So he was
He was strange.
Welcome to my shop.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
Then ask someone else. I have nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
I heard a different story, though, that the two of you were doing business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is, but if you find him, tell him he still owes me some goods.
Your establishment looks a bit run down, innkeeper. The walls could use a coat of whitewash, and the roof looks neglected too.
I suppose so. But what's that got to do with anything?
Just that you could maybe use a little extra money.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. But how much do you think it will cost to fix the place up a bit? If that's the best you can do, best drop the subject before I get offended.
About the goods Riki owes you?
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop filibustering and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose that would be alright.
How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
All right, done. When I bring them to you, you'll tell me what I want to know.
Deal. Welcome to my shop.
Are you looking for something?
Have you lost something?
He doesn't look drunk.
Do you need help?
Are you looking for something?
Hey, watch it. Huh, folk these days.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Have you ever heard tell of him?
Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinnick.
Aha. You wouldn't happen to know where he is?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you know at least where he usually goes? It's quite important.
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Do you at least know anyone he's friends with or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he's got to go to the baths.
Watch your tongue, peasant. I am an envoy of Sir Rotzik Kobila, and I'm conducting an investigation here. So stop hedging and tell me where your son is, right now.
Sir Radzig's envoy. Sorry, try that on someone else.
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
This time his neck is on the block. He got mixed up with some very unsavory people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow you.
Hinek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
All right. It's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Don't you have any clue where his hideout might be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose he never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
Well, I don't really know. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him money. Of course, it could have been for meat.
All right. I'll ask at the inn, then. Where's the lumberjacks' camp? Where's the tavern? Where does the tanner live? You know this Hinnock. Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why is that?
Tanners have never been the most sought-after companions. And what's more, he keeps the company of all kinds of knaves. In short, he doesn't have the best reputation.
What are you doing here?
Hey!
I'm looking for Hinnock, the courier's son. I hear he comes here. Have you seen him?
Oh, he comes stinking around here sometimes. Ask Raspberry. He knows him.
Who's Raspberry?
You'll spot him easily. His face is as red as a raspberry.
Damn!
Your mates say you know Hinnock, the courier's son.
Reeky, Oh, he shows up here sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm trying to find him.
Good luck then.
Has he been here recently?
A few days ago. He came by in the evening well boozed up. He might have fallen somewhere and broken his neck for all I know.
So he went into the woods.
Aye, like always.
Where do you know him from?
We worked together building a mill by Yanovitz. Then he vanished. A year later I came here to work, and lo and behold, Riki's here.
Do you know what he gets up to in the woods?
What do you reckon? Making money. It's no secret he goes poaching.
You're talking like that was all right.
No, that's not allowed, I know. I mean, I think he might be poaching, but maybe he's gathering firewood, right?
Sure, firewood. I hear Riki has a hideout in the woods somewhere. Do you know where it is?
Aye, I think he was there once.
You think? What does that mean? Either you were there or you weren't.
Once me and Hinek had a bit of a drink here, and we ran out of booze. Hinek said he had some stashed away in the woods, so we went there.
Uh-huh. What do you remember about it? The direction or which path you took?
Follow that path, and you'll go through a glade of birch trees. After a while, there's a sheer drop on your left, so be careful. Keep going, quite a long way until you come across a junction with a conciliatory cross, a small stone cross. There you take a left, and keep your ears open.
Listen? Why?
There's a spring somewhere in front of you. Someone put a kind of little mill wheel on it. You can hear it going clap, clap, clap all day and night. Once you find it, follow the creek downstream. After a while, you'll reach a confluence with another stream. You've got to back up along that stream a bit till you see a fallen tree lying over it. Bridge it, and go south for a few steps till you come across a big boulder. You can't miss it. If you climb up on the boulder, you'll see a fallen tree. Go alongside it downhill until you reach a landslip. Then go along the edge of the landslip to the south. As soon as you reach the end of the landslip, you're nearly there. Just go south a bit, and you'll reach Riki's hideout. It's like an old mine shaft or something.
What do you mean?
Riki is like some bloody hedgehog always creeping around in the woods.
So you see him often?
More like we don't see him.
I'd like to try that too.
You have to put up at least 10 groschen. If you win, you get it back and something on top.
Here's the 10 groschen.
Are you sure? I wouldn't want...
Nobody too hard, but I don't want to push over either.
You could borrow armor for the fight for a few groschen. What do you say?
Sure, why not?
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
Bastard!
You're finished!
Well, how did I do?
Do I have to tell you? It's not enough you got your ass kicked and can hardly stand up.
No!
Is there anything interesting going?
A bailiff's lot is not...
Can I help you?
Now I...
Certainly.
Well, I had a little drink with that...
Naturally.
And this...
So you want me to go...
The main thing is...
I have a few questions.
Ask.
Where did you have your keys?
On a chain around my neck. I carry them everywhere with me.
Idiot.
They're a sort of mark
Old
of...
ass. I wouldn't mind giving him.
What's the last thing you remember?
The last thing.
And
Now
then?
my wits
Then
end
She
with
wasn't
you,
too happy.
bloody
You
fool.
bet.
Sure, I understand. You can kick the door in and break open the trunk, can't you?
I could, of course. But since I spread it all over the village that I have a lock on my house, it wouldn't do much good for my reputation. And the trunk...
Very well. Couldn't the blacksmith help you?
Maybe. Only I don't want it to get around you, understand?
But I could ask, couldn't I?
You could, but for Christ's sake...
What's in your trunk?
Never mind.
I have no more questions. I'll get to work. Anything else going?
Farmer... Nothing serious.
Who is this
I don't know. Jerry's a farmer who lives across the creek beyond the village green.
Suppose I look into it and try...
And how do you propose to do that?
You're an ass the like of which the world has never seen.
Quiet! The neighbours will hear you.